and welcome to my channel. My name is Tiffie Starchild, and it's time for another mukbang. And it's been a really long time since we've had one. And I was out running different errands today. I had therapy this morning, and I happened to be in an area, and I was like, I was in like where near all the Japanese markets are, and so I went and I got some strawberry milk because I'm really loving strawberry milk lately. And I was gonna get some curry up there, but it really was not speaking to my spirit, and I ended up not really being into it, even though I was literally there standing in line about to order. Just really wasn't feeling it. And I realized that I wanted Jamaican food instead, so I got Jamaican food. And then I also realized, it was a day of realizations, that I hadn't filmed a mukbang in a really long time, and I liked them. That was the very first video that I did here on YouTube. Even though it was the ramen noodle challenge, it was a mukbang, even though I didn't know what that was and it wasn't necessarily intentional. That's what it was. So I just wanted to go ahead and bring that back. It's just nice to talk and sit without necessarily having a plan on what I'm gonna say. If you're eating with me, that's dope too. I'm right now eating this is rice and beans. Down here, some fried plantains that are yummy. There's a mixture of vegetables. This looks like cabbage and corn and peas. And then I have curry chicken as well. Oh, and this is a chicken patty. I'm probably most excited about the chicken patty. Okay, well, that's hot. Because I'm me, I also have this garlic spread from Trader Joe's. I just eat it with everything, so I'm gonna eat it with this too. No, that does not sit right with my spirit. They do have this hot sauce that comes with it. I think they put significantly less than they used to, but I think it's also like super, super hot, and a lot of the time I end up putting too much of it on my food. And you know I like hot stuff, but to the point where it's not exactly enjoyable to eat. That's no good. I just have orange juice and water. No pineapple juice today. Okay. Did you cool off some? No. I see the steam. I see the steam rising. I'm gonna let that alone a second. Oh, and I also have my fan on because it's really hot, and it's been really hard to film videos because of the heat. I have to keep my windows closed because of the noise and the light, and I have this ring light here that's, you know, making heat. And fans are typically loud, but I'm too hot. And so if it's too loud and it distracts you from the video, especially because I don't put music over the mukbangs, I apologize. But the alternative was me just being a hot, sweaty, miserable mess. And if we just have to deal with a little bit of noise, that's okay, right? Right? I burned my fingertips. That's what that looks like. I don't know what they make the dough out of or why it's so brightly colored, but I just know that the taste is amazing. And if you don't go early in the day for these, then they're out. And I've especially really been wanting some rice because all week long during my work week, salads all the time for lunch. Salads, fruit, which is great, and it feels amazing, and I'm very happy about the healthy changes that I've eaten. But sometimes I just want rice and just like grains and bread and things like that. I'm not doing low carb or anything like that. Clearly not low carb, but just throughout the week I tend to stick to a lot of salads and proteins, lots of fruit, so I get lots of carbohydrates from that as well. The chicken is so tender. I'm sad I don't have any sauce to dip this in, and you guys know I'm a sauce person. I'm that person because my bedroom window is in the front. Whenever there's a car driving by or something, I'm that person that's out the window looking, seeing, because you never know. You never know. Oh, this is really spicy. You can really taste the pain. I really only dance when I eat, when I'm happy. So I must be in a pretty good place. And that feels good because it has been an up and down challenge for years. Like literally the past 6 years to get my mental health under control, my depression and my anxiety under control and get in a good place. And last night was especially intense. I'm going to let this cool off some. So last night, so yesterday was actually my Friday because I work Saturday through Wednesday, and then my days off are Thursday and Friday. So yesterday was my Friday, and I go out with my best friend. We go to a sports bar type place that's run by one of my good friends, and it's her birthday, and we're there to celebrate her birthday, whatever. We get dressed up, we go out. I said I was going to let that cool off, right? We get dressed, we go out, and you know, we're having a good time. She gets me to get a couple drinks, which is fine. I don't normally drink, and I have a very low alcohol tolerance. As a matter of fact, I need my liquor to be disguised in the beverage. I don't want to taste the alcohol because to me it doesn't really taste that good. But like the Tokyo iced tea, where it tastes very sweet and it tastes like Kool-Aid, and it's one of those deceptively strong beverages, that's what I really like. So we're dancing, we're feeling good, lots of sliding going on. There's karaoke and people are singing. And another one of my friends comes in, and she's really dealing with her ex. I'm not going to put her business out there, but the whole night was just intense from that point because this guy had such bad energy and was so set on flaunting it and just trying to exercise the manipulation and the control that he had over her. Was calling me a whole by the end of the night and all that good stuff, which is fine. If I'm the person keeping you, if me, not just by myself, but keeping you physically from approaching my friend when clearly you have been such a bad person to her, fine, I'm a bitch, I guess. And that's just, you know, a lot within the past couple days and the past week or so. I've been called a bitch a lot lately, which doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. Being called a bitch doesn't bother me. But all of that energy coming towards me, and it's from men specifically, which is interesting. The other one happened at work. I was talking about it on my Instagram live, but a legit whole like pimp came in, and when I wasn't interested in his advances and my coworkers and I were not interested in finding him someone that would want his services or be put for a job or was looking for an employment opportunity or whatever it was he wanted, he started saying really disgusting things to me and nasty things and looking me up and down and, oh, that's what I like, and oh, you got attitude and what you mixed with, all just kinds of random questions, random, you got a rich in front of you right now, just random things. And of course, I'm not going to take it. I'm at work, so there's only so much that I can do and only so many ways that I can respond and still keep my job. So I'm limiting what I can say, but letting him know that those, you know, those advances aren't welcome. The conversation isn't welcome. It is inappropriate. It is harassment. Security is somewhere on the way. And by the end of that conversation, we both have raised voices at each other. He's calling me a I am very proud of myself because I did not curse him out. I need y'all to understand how much growth that took on my part, because not too long ago, a different Tiffany, not even Tiffie, a different Tiffany I cussed a little bit. I'm from Southeast San Diego. It slipped up out of me just a little bit. And I told my supervisors too, because they came when they realized it was serious. They came over as well. And I told them, I was just like, listen, so the cameras are going to catch me saying this, that, and this. And my coworker, she was looking at me. She had never seen that side of me before. Because who does? But she's just kind of shrinking back further and further. And she's, Tiffie, no, Tiffie. But no grown man was going to sit up in my face and tell me to shut the up and call me a bitch and a hoe and a whore and all this other kind of stuff. And I did not cuss him out, but I wasn't going to be spoken down to that way. Well, that was strange. And my job supported me fully, which was dope. That person is no longer allowed on property, and security has been looking out in case he makes a a show again. Mmm. Yes, potato. I think there should be more potatoes up in this, but that's okay. Oh, I broke it. Oh well. Look at that golden boy. What just dripped onto my leg? I totally just knocked over the hot sauce and spilt it onto my leg. The good news is I'm wearing some jeans that are fashionably ripped. And it dropped onto the open part. Onto my bare leg, but at least my jeans are safe. You know what? This is why you ask for two. It's why you ask for two. That's okay. When you're clumsy, you're prepared. So grown men calling me out my name, I'm not really concerned about. Call me a whatever, it's fine. And the other side of it is, like, I'm also feeling kind of right now. I guess this is the conversation. It's not where I intended it to go. I'm gonna have a lot of bleeping to do because I try to keep it out of my YouTube videos, so fine, whatever. Let's just bleep them all. I'm gonna hate myself later for that. The other side of it is, like, I low-key feel kind of right now because I'm supposed to be actually in Atlanta. I had planned a trip to go out to see a friend of mine that I've had about the past 5 years, and we recently reconnected. He was going to come out here to see me in California, and plans got switched around, so it changed where he was flying me out there to go spend some time with him. I was super sad because I wish the dates would have lined up so I could go attend Dragon Con. Because Dragon Con, which is essentially like Atlanta's, you know, San Diego Comic-Con. It's Dragon Con is that for Atlanta. But I've wanted to go to this convention for years and years, and I've never been able to, and I've never done a con outside of California. I have one planned for November, but Dragon Con is like amazing. So if I was able to like switch this around so that I can go, that would have been really cool. Didn't happen, and that's fine. But and as much as I was looking forward to this trip to spend time with my friend out there, I started to just get some really bad feelings about it, and I started to see some red flags pop up in his behavior. I'm not worried about him seeing this video because in our talking and our little whatever, our little courtship, he doesn't watch my YouTube videos, and I would ask him to because I supported his music and the things that he was doing. My backdrop is all funky. I'm over. I gotta fix that. Oh, that bugs me. Better. It's not perfect, but I like it a lot more than it was. That's fine. Oh yeah, I would support his music and all that good stuff, but when I would drop a video, he'd be like, oh yeah, I started watching it and then had to stop, whatever. You know, it's kind of long. And I was just like, first of all, if you're gonna support me, especially if you call yourself my friend. And also, this is when I'm trying to make my videos as short as possible so that they are a little bit more accessible and not, mukbangs are longer and I tend to do less edits on them. But I'm making my videos as short as I can, and you can't sit down for 6-7 minutes and just watch them. That tells me a lot about your support of me. And I don't measure friendships based off of that, but this is someone who is closer than that. And so I had different expectations. When those red flags started popping up, I just noticed that his response to them wasn't great. I'm to the point in my life where if I see a red flag, I cannot ignore it. And that's because I've spent a lot of time ignoring those red flags, and it's never worked in my favor. Anytime I've overlooked something that I've been like, man, that's not good, but I can rationalize my way around it, typically with relationships and with men, to be honest, it's never really worked in my favor or on my behalf. So I have a responsibility to myself at this point. I cannot ignore red flags. I let him know that his behavior, because he was doing things less responsive, more blowing me off. It wasn't until I posted something on Instagram that he decided to reach out and text me at 3 o'clock in the morning to let me know all how he was busy and with life and things, as if he didn't tell me prior to that the reason he couldn't speak to me was because he was in charge of planning the coworker festivities. Him and his coworkers like to kick it after work, who doesn't? But he's in charge of the hangouts, so he doesn't have time to speak or to see how my day is going or the things I'm going through. But suddenly it's, oh, life has really caught up with me. I thought you would be more understanding, even if I didn't have time to explain. And that's the phrase that had me like, wait a minute. And this friend, without putting all of that business out there, I've been very understanding up until that point, particularly because I had reached out and said, like, yo, I'm feeling uncomfortable. Can we please talk about this? And he blew me off for days. So I've been very understanding. The fact that he was back in my life at all when our past dictates that I should have walked away and never looked back, and that's on me. But I have given this person the benefit of the doubt. I am forgiving. I believe that, you know, situations can sometimes work out differently, and maybe they can. This was not one of those times. When I started seeing those red flags, and after making the decision to give this person the benefit of the doubt again and allow them back into my life again and to get to that level with them, I really to be told that he thought I would be more understanding really did make me pause and feel some type of way, like, yo, maybe I am overreacting. And that's when another red flag popped up, because I saw it for what it was, which is a manipulation tactic. That's 100% how you get people to stay on your bullshit without calling you out. Oh, I thought you would be more understanding. It tells you that your instincts and the things that you're feeling about something are false, when really they're not. I had a funny feeling about something that was going on. I was uncomfortable in a situation and was told pretty much I should have been more understanding, when in reality, easing those fears, having a conversation with me, especially when you call someone a friend, that was the correct course of action. Putting the responsibility on somebody else to be more understanding when they had extended that courtesy already, it's manipulative. And then to text me at 3 o'clock in the morning and then tell me that 24 hours later, when it was his day off, not my day off, when it was his day off, so he had some time, we would talk about it because it was important. And that, I think, was mocking something I said earlier when he tried to call me at 1 o'clock in the morning to tell me that he missed hearing my voice. No, you don't dodge me and not answer phone calls and not answer texts and then hit me back up. Oh, and then tell me that the reason is because you have to go bowling with your coworkers and you have to deal with the group text. And then at 1 o'clock in the morning, oh, I just really missed your voice. It doesn't work that way. Or it might work for different types of people. It really doesn't work for me, period. So basically, he told me that we would speak, and this is all in a text message that I'm reading at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, thought you would be more understanding, blah, 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 blah. We'll talk about this tomorrow when I'm off work. At that point, I made the decision to cut that person out of my life. And in the vein and bringing that back full circle, it feels incredibly harsh. And I've gone back and forth about it, but I'm comfortable in that feeling now. I know that it doesn't make me I have to do what I feel is right. And if I feel that someone isn't showing me, someone that claims to be a friend, that claims to be close to me, and in his words, it claims to be courting me and all that bullshit, it just made me feel bad, because this was someone that I had called a friend for a number of years. I was happy when we were able to reconnect, because I don't like when friendships just end. And the lesson that I'm taking away is they end for really good reasons sometimes. And sometimes they can be saved. I have friendships that ended last year, and me and that person have come back together and been able to talk about our differences. And this was someone I was extremely close with. And our relationship is different now, but some of that healing did happen. So it's not a blanket, every relationship can come back and be saved in some way, or it'll never, ever happen for you and that person. There's no like blanket answer for it. But in this case, this was a door that I closed and I should have kept closed. I didn't tell him, like, I didn't have anything to say at 3 o'clock in the morning when he sent that text. And the next morning when he was like, oh, I was gonna call, but I have to do some stuff down here at the Lyft office and give me a call when you're off work. I just didn't, and didn't have any response for it. And that felt too. That was like against my character to do that. But at that point, I have nothing to say to you. I have extended every courtesy. I have approached this straightforward. I have tried to call. I've been blown off. I have nothing for you at this point. And my thing was just really being okay with that feeling. Because it feels mean. It feels like, yo, it feels like there's no way to avoid it. It just feels very against my character and how I approach relationships and friendships and forgiveness. I'm big on forgiveness. So it felt like I was going against that. But when in reality, it was the best thing I could have done. I don't know if he's reached out. I don't know if he said anything after that, because it just so happened that's when my phone broke. My phone recently broke. I haven't mentioned it here on YouTube, but Instagram knows all about it. My phone broke, and I was without a phone for like 4 days to a week or something like that. And I wasn't getting my text messages. Sometimes I do to my laptop, but I wasn't getting all of them. I found out because I had a whole bunch of people upset with me when I wasn't responding. So I have no idea if he reached out or ever saw or realized or wanted to talk about it. And I really don't care at this point. And I feel great about that decision. I'd rather cut people out of my life that I've given chances to. Or if I have the right to determine if they mess up once, at any point, if I decide that I don't want someone in my life, I'm not going to feel guilty for asking them to leave or just Xing them out altogether. And I think that's been a feeling that has held me back for years. I have to play nice and keep peaceful and not be seen as a and all kinds of things, when in reality, it's not to preserve yourself in this way. I'm not going out there hurting people's feelings. I'm not being rude. I just decided that space that I was in, that situation, had so many red flags. I was in a sea of red flags that I had no business being there. I was in the wrong place, so I removed myself from that. I had tried to have conversations. I tried to do different things to communicate that with that person, and he wanted that to be on his time. He wanted to dictate when that would happen, regardless of my requests. So at this point, why would I feel bad for cutting that out? So all of that is to say that it's just contributed to this really weird feeling of heaviness, and then work is just constantly battling off negativity. It's a very strange, I love my job in a lot of ways, but it's a challenging work environment. It's very rewarding, very challenging. So it's a constant shield I have to keep up at all times. When I get to my weekend, I'm so happy. Even though I've had to cancel my last couple Disneyland trips. I've wanted to go to Disneyland this weekend and last weekend. And both times I've had to been like, you know what? I have other responsibilities other than Disneyland. So, haven't even been able to get to my happy place. And I think all of this came about because if I'm singing, because I have certain signs that I know that my spirit is doing well. And that's when I'm walking around singing. When I just sing, and my mom notices it. She notices, she says I have a song in my voice. When I talk, I tend to just sing my words out. That's when I'm in a good place. And when I dance, when I eat, that means that I'm in a good place as well. So that makes me happy. Realizing that, and having that be the bigger feeling. I'm going to miss the person I thought that was my friend. I care nothing about these out-of-pocket men calling me a I don't care about that. But it feels good to know that just where I am in my life, with all the things that are going on, the constant, it's not a struggle, and it's not even a hustle. Doesn't make it sound fun. What I get to do is work. Making videos and creating content, it's work, but it's work that I love, and it's work that I want to make my living. And then there's the full-time job on top of it. So it's just a lot of energy being put out all the time. I'm happy I'm in a place where I can do that, because just a couple years ago, I was praying to be able to get out of my bed. Days would go by. Days. And I'd be in bed. Just kind of waiting for death. Like, yeah, just if it happened, if I were to just slip away. And that was just part of the roller coaster. There were other times where I stayed awake for days at a time because I literally thought my heart was going to stop in my sleep. And I stayed awake out of just fear of dying in my sleep. So it's been rough. Me being able to sit here and eat some Jamaican food and talk on camera and share it with y'all and be in a happy place in my spirit just really means a lot to me. This chicken is just so good and moist and tender. That was a lot of hot sauce. And I do want to share more of, what my story is and what my experiences over the past 6 years have been, because it's really shaped a lot of who I am now. I talk about it sometimes on my Instagram, or I want to talk about it here, just more in general. I think that, because what I found is, I talk about it with people that I interact with, the things that I've gone through, my battles with depression and anxiety and relationships and things like that. I talk one-on-one with people, and people message me. I let them know I don't give advice. I don't think I'm qualified to give advice, but I tell my story, and I share what my experiences have been and the lessons that I have learned. And the more that I do that, the more that I see that it really resonates with people going through the same thing. And it makes me want to share more, because if I went through all of that and it ends up being beneficial for somebody, then all of it was worth it. Pretty much. Like, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. I wouldn't want to go through any of that again. But if sharing my story and letting someone know that you can be in a very low place, in a really dark place, and still be okay one day, then I'm going to share that. So that's more of the type of content that I'll have here on my YouTube channel. I'll still very much be doing the nerdy things and all of that good stuff, but I just really want to talk more about me personally and what I go through. I've hidden it for so long. I've had these struggles in silence and tried to keep it a positive space and not put my business out there and all of these different things to not open up in that way, and have been very shut off from it for a while as well, and that was a coping mechanism. But I'm really not in that mindset anymore. I still have to finish all of the Comic-Con footage. So much of it was lost when my phone got damaged. I don't know what happened, but a lot of the videos, especially from the last day when I was cosplaying as Amethyst and had the whole gym group, that was the most magical day I've ever had at a con in all the years I've been doing them, and almost all of the video is gone from it. So I'm super duper bummed. Got super uninspired to finish the daily vlogs that I was doing from Comic-Con, but I will, because I really like those videos. And I like sharing them, and I like being able to look back on them. So I'm just going to finish those out real fast just to get them off my computer and off my space and off my mind. I still have the haul video, which I did actually film because I was super looking forward to it. And then when I realized that all of that video was gone, including that one, I kept everything in the bags so that I can show the haul video again. So I haven't even incorporated it into my stuff and onto my nerd shelves, and the prints have not gone anywhere because I have to film all of that stuff again. But it feels good to just be moving forward with the things that I want to do. Let's do more mukbangs. I was surprised when people requested them, when they were like, oh, when are you going to have this again? And my aunt, every time she sees me, she tells me that she's upset because when she passes by a Wingstop, she has to stop there from the Wingstop mukbang that I did. But I'm sorry, auntie, and I love you very, very much. I am pretty much done eating this here. There's so much food. I think that I'm going to save the rest of it for later on tonight after book club, because my cousin has a book club and I'm super excited to go to that tonight. Thank you so much for joining me for this mukbang, and really for just supporting me in general. You can follow me on Instagram at Tiffie Starchild, and I tell people my DMs are always open. If you need to talk, if there's something that you need to run by me. Sometimes just having another ear helps. And I'm good at recognizing red flags with other people. I had to learn how to do it with myself, and I had to learn that lesson over and over again until I got it right. So sometimes it helps to bounce it off other people, and I'm more than down for that. I do go live every Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so you're more than welcome to join us. And as always, if you really like what you saw, like the video, comment, and subscribe to the channel as well. I will see you next time.